everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Stereo 7 podcast. This is me, Hassan Khalid, and Abdullah Rashid as my co host.
Thank you, Hassan, and thank you guys for tuning in. There's a long way to go for all of us, so stick by because it's about to be an incredible journey.
So, here we are with the first ever episode of Stereo 7. So, let's just reflect upon how we came up with this idea of starting Stereo 7. Abdullah, would you like to explain how you came up to me and
Yeah,
you had a
so
plan in mind?
so I will just go way back. असल में ये स्टार्ट हुआ था जब मैं like 2-3 साल पहले की बात है एक्चुअली जब मुझे पॉडकास्ट का असल में पता चला था कि व्हाट अ पॉडकास्ट है तो उस वक्त मेरे कजन ने मुझे लाइक एक इंफॉर्मेटिव बेस्ड ऐप बताई थी कि लाइक there's a ऐप इसमें पॉडकास्ट होते हैं इसमें कोई डिफरेंट लेक्चर्स टाइप होते हैं डिफरेंट जॉनर्स होते हैं तो ये तुम सुन लिया करो इट वुड बी हेल्प तो हो सकता है ऑब्वियसली मैंने इतना कोई गौर नहीं किया उस पर और मैंने छोड़ दिया लेकिन जब मैं कॉलेज में आया तो कॉलेज में हमारा ये सीन होता था कि असाइनमेंट्स हमें मिलती थी और मोस्टली असाइनमेंट्स जो हमें मिलती थी वो कॉपी पेस्ट करना होता था बुक्स से लाइक बुक से खोल लिया ठीक है वहां से बस बस लिखते रहो कोई सेंस नहीं बनती थी क्योंकि मैंने एफएससी की हुई थी तो सिंपल कॉपी
सही
पेस्ट
है।
करना था तो वहां पर फिर मैंने कुछ अपने गोल्स रखे तो उन गोल्स को अचीव करने के लिए ऑब्वियसली मुझे अपने आप को उनके साथ अलाइन करना था तो फिर वहां पर मुझे फिर याद आया कि ओ लेट्स लिसन टू सम पॉडकास्ट साथ जब मैं काम कर रहा था तो फिर मैंने
हम्म,
पॉडकास्ट की कोई ऐप डाउनलोड की उधर से फिर मैंने पॉडकास्ट सुनना शुरू कर दी while I was doing the assignment उधर से मुझे एक थोड़ा सा डेवलप हुआ कि वाह दैट्स अ गुड थिंग तो वहां से ही मेरे में एक था कि लाइक पॉडकास्ट स्टार्ट करनी है फिर लास्ट ईयर एक्चुअली एक मैं पॉडकास्ट पर मैंने गेस्ट फीचर किया तो दैट वाज अ वेरी गुड पॉडकास्ट क्योंकि उसमें काफी इंटरनेशनल ऑडियंस थी उनके और दैट वाज अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस तो उसके बाद तो मेरा फाइनल हो गया कि नहीं यार आई हैव टू स्टार्ट दिस तो फिर जब I came into university, I asked you guys, so you came up and you were like, yeah, I'm ready to do that. So I was like, wow, finally someone. So
yeah,
that's how
man.
we just
Yeah, exactly. So Abdullah came up to me. He was like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'm down for it." Or ever since then, we've been working on it. It's been almost a month, I guess.
yeah, it's been a month.
We've been we've been preparing stuff for it. Or the name Stereo 7 basically came up with our our university group. We're basically 7 people. So I was like, why not feature every one of them and talk about various subjects. And that's basically how we came up with Stereo 7. Talking about Stereo 7, our guest Nooh is here with us. He's also a part of the Stereo 7 family. He is also a business student, just like me, myself, and Abdullah, and also a really close friend. So, Nooh, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nooh Ahmed, and I was born and raised in the United States. Spent like the first 7, 8 years of my life over there, then moved to the Middle East for another 5, 6 years, and then came to Pakistan for my higher education. I left for my A levels, and now I'm starting my business administration bachelor's degree in Bahrain University. So yeah, there's
Great to know. Great to know. So, we'll be talking about today are basically three agendas. Starting off with the most common problem that we have nowadays, COVID-19. We'll talk about it globally as well as Pakistan. We'll be talking about other subjects. Abdullah would like to explain about them.
yeah. So starting off, like, how's your life going, Hassan, with the Corona situation, right?
For me, it has changed for the best uh, because I've started some projects that I wanted to for a long time. I just didn't
No,
have
that's great.
enough time. And now that we have so much free time, I thought, why not, start doing it, because God knows when we'll have enough time when this university and all the situation gets back to normal. And so basically, I started doing some projects related to graphic designing, implementing my skills related to filmmaking. And yeah, I'm still in the learning phases, and Studio 7 is just another opportunity that we have. And at least myself, I I see it as a really successful platform and an idea, basically.
Wow,
So
that's great. Yeah, okay,
that's all from my side.
coming towards Nooh, or guest. Yo, Nooh, what's up, man? First of all, tell me, how's your life been?
It's been great, man. It's been great. Loving the quarantine, living life and having some good, nice time reflecting on life. And, well, surprisingly, I believe like the COVID-19 coronavirus thing has got some good into it as well, because not actually because of coronavirus, but I think the circumstances it has put me into.
Mhm.
For example, me able to connect with my family again, which I believe was lacking a lot before, as I was distracted with my friends in university, etc., etc. So I had a lot of time to sit with the family, and I realized that they're pretty cool people, and I should have known before.
Yeah.
Wow, facts, man.
Yeah, man,
I've
they're pretty
heard
cool people.
Yeah, I've heard many people talk about this, how they've had more family time now that they're at home and can't really go outside, which is a really good thing in my opinion.
It is. And other than that, I've gotten closer to God, man. I've had a lot of time where I could, start uh, researching a bit more, reading the Quran, reading the translation of the Quran. I was
Yeah,
lacking a lot in my prayers as well, so I've got back on track with that too. So, there's
Wow.
some good to the coronavirus, well, the circumstances that it has put me into, but there's a few bad as well, such as businesses
Yeah, businesses
have,
are really affected by this. Yeah, yeah.
most of them have closed down, and a lot of people are facing many losses. Some people are having trouble surviving, etc., etc.
Yeah. So tell me about your first impressions on Corona, like when it actually came out. What was your like perceived perception about it?
Oh,
Like
it was a joke for me, like
it was a joke for
make fun
you.
of it. Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
It came from China. It was because people ate bats and stuff. So I
let's
was
just
enjoying
face
the
it, man.
memes.
Let's just face it. All of us were making jokes about it. We were saying it's a Chinese virus. It won't ever come to us. And there were actually conspiracy theories as well. Okay, it's like a biological war and all this, but I don't know whether it's true or not. At least, but yeah, that is true. We took it really lightly, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
we're paying and we're paying for the consequences now, considering the count has surged to, I don't know, at least like 85 or 90,000 here in Pakistan, and the worldwide count is, I guess, over a million now.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest, I was scared when it first came out because I knew about the MERS, which was back in 2002, I guess, the SARS coronavirus, right? So I was like legit scared about coronavirus situation, and I was like, Pakistan's going to be affected no matter what.
Yeah, man, considering the health facilities here and
Yes.
how we barely cope with the mainstream diseases like dengue and malaria. We lose hundreds of people every year due to these diseases, and just like I said, coronavirus is just like a cherry on top.
Yeah. Like we even haven't like eradicated polio, but I'm hopeful. Okay, moving on to the routines. Like Nooh mentioned some good hobbies he has and some very practical hobbies he had during this time.
Yeah, Abdullah, you didn't talk about yours. How have
Yeah,
you changed?
well, mine, okay. So, well, I'm currently working on with some courses, some online courses that I'm taking on, and apart from that, all these assignments. You know the situation with the universities these days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of
man.
us are going through
Yeah,
that phase.
yeah. I'm just surrounded by all the projects and university work, and
I mean,
I'm done.
I, I think it's actually really good that we were given these tasks, because if it wasn't for these tasks and assignments, we would be, we would actually won't be doing much, and we'd be just, lazing around and pretty much being a couch potato, just like
Yeah.
Nooh is nowadays.
Well,
Yeah.
I believe universities got a lot easier. I mean, we've got 30 minds working on one assignment, you know?
Facts.
If this goes, if this goes
Yeah.
another 3 years, I think I'm gonna graduate with the 4.0 GPA, man.
Yeah, like
Man,
the whole.
I got 14 marks for the first time in my life in maths, and I was literally so happy. And guess what? I didn't really solve it.
Just imagine like waking up, turning on your laptop on, and you're in the class. Boom. That's it. You don't have to go to the
Wow.
washroom to prepare up. Nothing. Just open your laptop, charge it, mute the microphone, and sleep. That's it. You're going with the classes.
Yeah,
Exactly, man. That's exactly what I've been doing.
I just use my phone to turn it on and I doze off, man. I don't even stay awake for most of the classes.
Exactly. So moving on from this COVID-19 situation, let's talk about the most recent problems that we've faced here in Pakistan. One of the major problems being, now that everyone's been talking about it, the PIA crash that happened just a few weeks back. What's your opinion on that, Abdullah?
Well, I was, to be honest, heartbroken when I first heard the news. Like, एक होता है ना बंदे को like एक disbelief सा होता है. पहले तो I was like, okay. जब मुझे पता चला like it was like 1 minute away from the runway, तो फिर like बंदे को होता है like how is that possible? उसके बाद फिर I was just sad this whole day. Uh, मतलब इंस्टा खोली मैंने बंद की फेसबुक not even I didn't even share memes that day.
Yeah, man, it was really heartbreaking, to be honest. But let's just talk about where we went wrong, because how I see this crash is basically due to our own flaws that we have as a society and as a system. First of all, being how there was a major dense population just a few meters from the runway. It was an entire community, and airports around the world did discourage these kind of. They actually, it's illegal to have settlements like these, and the fact that there was a huge settlement, uh, an entire town just alongside the runway is quite messed up. If at least it wasn't for that runway, we wouldn't have that huge of a disaster. What do you have to say about that, No? Because you're natively from
Agreed.
Karachi, and
Agreed.
it's quite congested there as well. So what do you?
It, it is. It is. I mean, it's not fully the government's fault, basically. I mean, there's not much the pilot could do. It was a Mayday, and you can't really stop such tragedies that easily. Well,
Yeah, that
most.
is that is true. That is true. But what I'm talking about here is the real estate mafias that are here in Pakistan, and how they just try to take
Yeah, everyone's
take
trying to make
land that's
money.
like, yeah, exactly.
But what's worse is that this incident or tragedy wasn't highlighted as much as it should have. And other than that, like scenarios like Uzma Khan being a home wrecker, or Amna Usman being
Facts.
a home wrecker, whatever
Facts.
whatsoever, is being highlighted. That shit has, I mean, I'm sorry, but that topic has been highlighted for over a week and people are still talking about it. And they have completely forgot about that tragedy that just happened in the holy month of Ramadan at the day of Jummat al-Bida. and like everyone somehow forgot about that. And surprisingly, no one is talking as much about the two survivors which we had,
Yeah,
as there's a 1 out of 5 million chance of someone surviving a plane crash. And I'm not talking
Facts.
about like, I mean, having a plane crash is also very rare, and then
Mm.
surviving one is 1 out of 5 million, which is like
yeah.
ultra rare, man. That's legendary. We should be on BBC for that, man. Like, but no, no.
Facts, bro. Facts.
You're talking about Uzma
Uh,
Khan dating
let's
some rich
just
boy.
imagine, just imagine how what those people would be going through. Imagine surviving a plane crash, getting out of a total, getting out of a plane that's crashed, which is on fire, and being unconscious and just being rescued by a million people. Not really a million people, but tens of people. Everyone's pulling your leg, your arms, and you don't know what's happening. And then being able to cope with that feeling for the rest of your life. I don't really know how they'd be doing it, but let's just be grateful that they're alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
man, it's
miracle, man.
crazy. It's crazy, bro. I was really surprised, man. I was surprised how it wasn't highlighted as much as it should have. And
Hmm.
Yeah, the Uzma Khan case is man absurd. I don't know why people are talking at it, but
I, I swear,
हाँ
no,
यार
like
पता
I'm not
नहीं
gonna.
that explains कि यार हमारी प्रायोरिटीज क्या है.
हमारी
I
मेंटेलिटी
mean,
क्या है? Like,
मेंटेलिटी छोड़ यार, मेंटेलिटी छोड़, प्रायोरिटीज क्या है. 100 लोग मर गए, नहीं उस्मा खान.
हाँ भाई, सब लड़कियों के पीछे भागते हैं यार.
वो आई स्वेयर में मुझे तो पता भी नहीं क्या हुआ था यार ये उस्मा खान सिचुएशन का भाई.
वैसे झूठ नहीं
मतलब
बोलूंगा, मैंने यार वो, अल्लाह
interesting.
माफ करे, लेकिन पीआई क्रैश से ज्यादा वो उस्मा खान केस पे रिसर्च किया मैंने यार. ऐसी ऐसी वीडियोस. झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा यार, झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा. इट इज व्हाट इट
सही,
इज.
अच्छी बात है यार, एटलीस्ट यूर
यार
ऑनेस्ट.
सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग बात जो मुझे लगी वो इत्तेकाफ से उस्मान भाई बैठा से मतलब
ओए होए
इतना अच्छा वो
यार.
स्क्रिप्ट करते हैं लोग यार, मतलब हमें सीखना
और उसके
चाहिए
बाद
कुछ.
और उसके बाद मीम्स तुमने तो ऑब्वियसली देखी होंगी यार.
मैं
They
समझता
were
हूँ ड्रामा
insane.
सीरियल बन सकते हैं इसके बारे में.
सही बात है यार. I'm telling you right now, दो 2 साल भी नहीं, मैं कहता हूँ 1 साल वेट कर लो, इस पे एक पूरा ड्रामा सीरियल निकलेगा, आई एम श्योर.
हाँ,
एक साल
देखूंगा
वेट
मैं
करने की क्या
जरूर.
जरूरत है, अभी निकलने वाला है.
अभी देख, मैं तो
क्या पता
देखूंगा.
उन्होंने ये ड्रामा सीरियल की रिसर्च के लिए ये किया हो कि
हाँ, क्या पता वो पब्लिसिटी स्टंट हो एक और.
सही बात है, लेकिन let's not drift away from the topic. अच्छा, let's talk about how the victims of the crash have been handled, because मैं अभी वो uh, जुनैद अकरम की ही वो पॉडकास्ट देख रहा था. He was contacting that philanthropist in कराची. यार उनका क्या नाम है, जफर इकबाल शायद. जफर नाम है, इकबाल पता नहीं, मैंने खुद ही डाल दिया शायद. पूरा नाम नहीं मुझे पता. तो ही वाज वन ऑफ द पीपल हु वाज ऑन साइट द अदर डे, और वो कह रहे थे कि व्हेन द प्लेन क्रैश्ड, जो ऑब्वियसली उसके बाद तो हर जगह फायर थी, तो there was firefighters trying to extinguish the fire. और फिर जब थोड़ी सी फायर कम हुई, स्मोक वगैरह कम हुआ, तो वो जब नीचे गए ना, तो ऑब्वियसली जो फायर फाइटर का जो पानी शानी वगैरह होता है, वो उधर खड़ा हुआ था. तो when they stepped in, there was like it felt like it was like hot boiling water. That's because कि अब obviously jet fuel इतनी कोई 4,000 5,000 डिग्रीज पे जाके बर्न होता है. तो just imagine how hot that would be. और just imagine कि the people who are on board, वो तो चलो फिर भी पानी है, वो तो exactly वो फायर के अंदर ही पता नहीं. I don't know, I don't really want to talk about how uh, the bodies were. But let's just see. None of the politicians came to the site. Everyone was, on the media trying to blame each other, trying to blame the pilot before any investigations took place. So yeah, that's what's wrong with our society. सारे politicians घरों में बैठे हुए थे. They didn't really care what was going on. एक बंदा भी नहीं, not even a single person went to the victims house. तो उनके लिए जरा जिसको कहते हैं ना, दुआ ही बंदा कर देता है. None of them went there.
सही बात है, सही बात है।
This explains our priorities, man. यानी ये priorities है हमारी. We choose to give coverage to sinister news like ये अपना हो गया उस्मा खान. उसके अलावा there was another thing going on पिछले दिनों में.
कर्नल की बीवी।
Yeah.
हाँ कर्नल की बीवी. Oh yeah, I know you're a legend, यार. You reminded me of. मुझे पता था there's something that's been going on. यार लोग सारे पागल हुए हुए यार. कर्नल की बीवी, this and that, और ऊपर से यार
मीम्स अच्छी बनी है, लेकिन मीम्स अच्छी बनी है ना करके props to the creators of them legendary memes.
हाँ.
Okay, so मैं एक मीम देख रहा था, उसमें ये था कि लाइक कर्नल की बीवी को कवर करने के लिए ये उस्मा खान वाला सीन डाल दिया.
आइडिया अच्छा है. आइडिया अच्छा है वैसे अब्दुल्ला. आइडिया अच्छा है. भाई कुछ भी हो सकता है when you have मलिक रियाज. वो मैंने एक मीम देखी थी कि किसी ने कहा स्टैंड विद मलिक रियाज और फिर उसके नीचे लिखा कि क्या पता कोई 5-10 के नाल का प्लॉट ही मिल जाए. वाह यार. इसी तरह प्लॉट मिलना.
सबको गिफ्ट मिलता है मलिक रियाज साहब से यार.
तो अच्छा फिर से हम उससे टॉपिक से वे चले गए. तो that's what the situation is. अभी तक I've seen many people जो जिनको अभी तक it's been कितना टाइम कितना हो गया, शायद 2-3 हफ्ते हो गया क्रैश के.
1.5
month
week, I guess.
हाँ इम्पोर्टेंस बिल्कुल नहीं दी जा रही है साना.
बिल्कुल इम्पोर्टेंस भी. और यार नो would you can you imagine कि there's people out there जिन्हें अभी तक अपनी loved ones की bodies नहीं मिली. और what the government claims is that के सारी जो bodies थी crash की they've been handed over to the families. अब just imagine कि someone gets the wrong body और that person is thinking कि यार ये that's the body of my loved one while it's actually not. और वो उसको दफन कर दे उधर. While the other person जिसकी वो actually body है वो उधर कहे कि यार I can't really find it. वो सारा distress में है, ये इधर से उधर जा रहा है.
Yeah, exactly.
तो यार ये that's just my opinion. लेकिन just like other air disasters ये भी एक disaster चला जाएगा. कोई investigations तो होंगी.
हाँ इससे भी लोग भूल जाएंगे. इस पे कोई काम नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. इससे बहुत पहले आई थिंक वो हमारा रेलवे इंसिडेंट भी हुआ था शॉर्ट सर्किट जिससे वो भी किसी
और वो भी डाल दिया था किसी और पे.
हाँ वो पता नहीं कहते कोई चूल्हा जला रहा था. ये how does that make sense यार? Come on.
Exactly.
पागल नहीं लोग.
Who lets chulhas in a train? Like अच्छा पाकिस्तानी थोड़े पागल हैं लेकिन भाई इतना भी नहीं कि बंदा वैसे ही चूल्हा ले अंदर से उठा के.
हाँ यार अक्ल के दुश्मन है सारे इधर.
और ऊपर से बाद में पता चला कि था was due to वो उसमें जो एयर कंडीशन का गैस नहीं होती ट्रेन में. It somehow caught fire और that is basically what led to the entire disaster.
मेंटेनेंस भी कहीं नहीं होती. जहाज की हमारी मेंटेनेंस नहीं होती. Apparently I think inspectors had complaint filed की थी कि यार इस जहाज को.
हाँ there's all sorts of conspiracies. लेकिन not only that, I've personally traveled with PIA a lot of times और it actually feels कि carrier है जो that's
PIA was like number one, bro. I remember when I was a child, I used to travel to Pakistan with PIA, and it would be the greatest experience. I used to get pancakes for breakfast.
Oh wow!
अच्छा मुझे तो इतना टेंशन नहीं मिली
यार. मैंने वो तुम तो लंबी फ्लाइटें करते थे यार.
हाँ तुम लोग इंटरनेशनल होती नहीं. अच्छा मैं कराची से आता था. I used to be in कराची. उधर से मैं आता था इधर इस्लामाबाद ना. तो तब भी यानी we used to get served with good food. अच्छा खासा मेन्यू वगैरह होता था और उससे डिसाइड करना था. और ये कोई काफी पहले की बात है. आई गेस इट्स बिन कोई 15-14 साल हो गए हैं इस बात को. और अब तो मुझे लगता है वो शायद मेन्यू क्या खाना भी नहीं देते.
हाँ यार वो मतलब एक जमाने में आज की एमिरेट्स थी यार.
सही बात है.
फन फैक्ट एमिरेट्स को ना पीआईए ने ही बनाया था. इनिशियल फंडिंग और स्ट्रक्चर पूरा मैनेज उन्होंने ही करके दिया.
जो हमारे पायलट्स भी बहुत ही अमेजिंग किस्म के पायलट्स हैं यार.
पूरी ट्रेनिंग टेक्निकल सपोर्ट इंजीनियरिंग जितना भी था ये सारा पीआईए का स्टाफ उधर जाके उनको ट्रेनिंग करके देके गया था. लाइक हमने ही बिल्ड करके दिया उनको. और उनको देखो हमको देखो।
हाँ, do you know EK means कि वो जो पहले हर फ्लाइट जैसा पाकिस्तान इंटरनेशनल का होता है PK10 something,
या
एमिरेट्स का होता है EK. You know what that means?
वो पाकिस्तान का किया उसमें।
Emirates to Karachi. That was the
Yeah.
first flight.
या
And अब देखो,
बस यार वो हमारे ये जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज एंड whoever is in authority उनको पैसे खाने की आदत है, वो अपना फायदा ढूंढते हैं, आवाम जाए चूल्हे बाढ़ में।
सही बात है यार। अब तो चलो वो जरा वाइट कॉलर अवाम थी, वो क्रैश में जरा जिसको कहते हैं ना 100 लोग चले गए, चल बसे, और इसलिए थोड़ी अटेंशन मिल गई। लेकिन क्या अभी 2 हफ्ते ही हुए हैं एंड ऑलमोस्ट एवरीवनस फॉरगॉट अबाउट इट। कोई पता ही नहीं था किसी को कोई प्लेन क्रैश हुआ भी था। और रिपोर्ट का they're saying कि they'll be present the report in front of the parliament after month, और उसका भी मुझे नहीं लगता कोई certainty है या नहीं।
Yeah, like जो proper investigations होती है ना, they actually take up like 3 months at least. I don't know, एक month में वो क्या मतलब obviously बनी बनाई जो script उनको दी पकड़ा दी जाएगी, वो present कर देंगे।
Do you have to say something?
Yeah, वो जहाज जिन जगहों पे गिरा था उनका क्या बना था? Like I have very little research about this.
अच्छा, what I've learned about it कि उसमें शायद एक दो लोग की डेथ हुई थी उस जो ऑन ग्राउंड थे। बाकी घर तो जल गए थे ना, और उनकी कंपनसेशन द गवर्नमेंट वाज सेइंग कि उनको देंगे, लेकिन we're not really sure about whether they've been given
haven't heard much, right?
हाँ, वो बस उधर से घूम के खत्म होगी बात।
तो होता है तो यार, all we can do is remind the people that this happened.
Anyways, let's just wait for the investigation reports to come in, or let's just hope for the best. Other than that, let's just conclude this podcast now. बाकी नो सुना है बड़ी आप गेमिंग कर रहे हैं आजकल?
हाँ जी यार, वैसे हम अभी भी गेमिंग खेल रहे हैं।
हाँ, मुझे पता था।
वाह, मल्टीटास्किंग।
Yeah, man, I'm a multitasker. आपके पूरे podcast के दौरान I was playing with one of my boys, I couldn't let him down. दोनों को commitment दी हुई थी। अब्दुल्ला काफी दिनों से
अब्दुल्ला से पैसे ले ले वापस सारे।
क्या इससे मुझे लेने पड़ेंगे? अच्छा, मैं एक इंटरेस्टिंग मैं एक आर्टिकल पढ़ा था। हाँ, मैं दूंगा। मैं एक आर्टिकल पढ़ा था, उसमें ये सीन था कि जो आजकल वो HR मैनेजर्स है ना, वो कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी के थ्रू लाइक हायरिंग करें, वो स्क्वाड में आके उनके साथ गेम खेल के ना उनके साथ वो भी चेक कर रहे होते हैं, सारे स्किल्स वगैरह, कॉग्निटिव वगैरह, और साथ उनसे क्वेश्चन भी कर रहे होते हैं। तो
नो, अपनी CV तैयार कर ले ब्रो। तुम्हारा तो वैसे भी कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी चलती नहीं है यार।
अब्दुल्ला नहीं अप्लाई कर सकता,
मतलब मैं अनएम्प्लॉयड रहूंगा पूरी जिंदगी।
हाँ, हम लोग पैसे विल बी मेकिंग डॉलर बिल्स, और तू आराम से हमारी शक्ल देख रहा होगा।
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है यार, अब्दुल्ला को मैं अपने घर बुला लूंगा। कोरोना खत्म हो जाए यार।
I hope कोरोना things end soon. लाइक था कि अगस्त तक लाइक खत्म हो जाएगा, लाइक अगर इसी रेट से चलता रहा, लेकिन I don't see it coming soon, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, hope for the best, prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
क्या बात है. Okay, that's enough for the first episode of Stereo 7. There's a long way to go for all of us. Thank you so much, Nooh, for being a guest. Let's not really a guest, अपना ही बंदा यार। और you can follow Nooh on Snapchat, on Facebook. We'll leave the link to his social media accounts in the description. Other than that, me, Hassan Khalid, signing off from Stereo 7.
Yeah, guys, so please subscribe to our channel and also subscribe our podcast listening app. If you're listening on Spotify, follow us over there. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to give us 5-star reviews so it will rank up in the search engine. That's it from my side as well. You can follow us on our social media, which is Stereo 7, and stay tuned for the next episode.